Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Very hard to keep the mosquito counts down. Let's talk about the mosquito counts in the Keys, including over the 4th of July celebrations. Let's start there first, please.
Right now, the counts are pretty low all over, up and down the Keys. We had a lot of rain and high tides previously, but last week, we were able, the weather really cooperated. We were able to get a lot of aerial missions, a lot of truck missions all up and down the Keys, and to bring the numbers of both the Aedes aegypti and the salt marsh mosquitoes down low, so that everything was under really good control from what we've seen for the July 4th celebration. So that went off well. But we're in the middle of the season right now, really the height of the season, and aerial missions and truck missions will be a normal thing now throughout to try to stay ahead of it. The problem is, when the wind and rain events come in and we get behind, then we catch up. But right now we're in pretty good shape, but we'll continue. You'll see today we had an aerial mission in Key West for the Aedes aegypti, the aerial larvicide, liquid larvicide missions, and but the truck missions and other aerial missions will be common for the next several months, all up and down the Keys. Hopefully the weather will cooperate so that we can really stay ahead of it. But it's a constant thing for us. We still have a lot of inundation of mosquitoes from the Everglades. There's for a number of reasons, the numbers of mosquitoes coming in, particularly in the upper part of the Middle Keys and into the Upper Keys, all the way to Ocean Reef, is continuing to be pretty high. One thing that has really helped, though, we were able to negotiate some new contracts with some of the protected land managers, particularly in the upper Keys, to allow us to start larviciding under some conditions this year. So we think this will help, but we're not really sure how much that will help compared to offset what's coming in from the Everglades where we can't treat. So we are continuously looking at this. We've got several ideas of things that we're working on to keep those numbers down. Right now, the numbers are pretty low, but when we get wind from the west, this happens again. Anytime you have a storm coming in, or sometimes just a rain event, the wind changes from the west and it drives the mosquitoes in from the Everglades. So it's a constant battle for us, but we are on top of it, doing everything we can to control it.
Okay, Phil Goodman, Commissioner, District 2, Board Chair, Florida Keys Mosquito Control District. And the Everglades do present a particular challenge for us due to all the restrictions that we've talked about. And they're a hotbed of mosquito breeding for sure, but it sounds like we made some progress there during those meetings with the park superintendent and other officials. So that is good to know. Challenges continue, of course, and the challenge of keeping mosquito-borne diseases out of the Keys and out of Florida. Ultimately, that quest continues, but apparently there are no cases of mosquito-borne diseases in the Keys at this time.
That's correct. For the last month or so, there have been very few cases even coming into Miami or anywhere in the state of Florida. So right now, it's really it's better than we've seen in a number of years. We can't really explain it, because these diseases, particularly chikungunya and dengue fever, are still prevalent and widespread epidemic proportions in a lot of Central South American countries and Asia. So, still a lot of travelers coming into Miami from these locations. But so far, the travel-related diseases have just really been very low for the last month or more. So we're hopeful that it'll stay that way. But it's a constant battle for us to continue to be sure that these diseases are not introduced by travelers. And when they are, the health department lets us know. We go into those neighborhoods and do a really thorough treatment for the Aedes aegypti mosquito to keep that from spreading. So far, this has worked. When we did have local travel-related cases. But right now, the Keys are really free from mosquito-borne diseases, and we're working hard to keep it that way.
Again, Phil Goodman with us, Commissioner, District 2, Board Chair, Florida Keys Mosquito Control District, and talking about the mosquito-borne diseases and the attempts to keep the Aedes aegypti mosquito away from our front doorstep, let's have an update on the Wolbachia project in the Middle Keys that is aimed at
Yeah,
controlling that Aedes aegypti mosquito using a biopesticide.
yeah, this Wolbachia is classified as a biopesticide along with several other types of biopesticides that we've evaluated in the past. Right now, we're looking at the Wolbachia, and we did last year and this year with pilot scale evaluations. This year, mostly are all in the Middle Keys. We've got three 20-acre sites and then three 20-acre we have test sites, and we also have control areas where there's no Wolbachia being introduced, so that we can make a comparison to see how effective it is. We're releasing for the total season from April through September, about 1.8 million mosquitoes will be released in those areas. We're releasing them every Tuesday and Friday. And we're seeing the numbers of the Aedes aegypti starting to really drop, and we have now for the last month or so seen those numbers come down. It's hard to make a real precise statement of how effective. We need to get the whole season and look at all of the data before we come to a conclusion of how successful it has. But it's certainly bringing the numbers of Aedes aegypti mosquitoes down in those areas. But this is a very expensive process, a very expensive project for us. So it's in the end, it'll probably have limited use because of the expense, but we still need to evaluate these because the chemicals that we use are becoming resistant to the Aedes aegypti. And this is only 3% of the mosquito population is the Aedes aegypti. The other 97% we are able to control with chemicals, and we have a new chemical that was introduced last year that's really helping as well. But the Aedes aegypti is a special case, and some of the chemicals are resistant. So we're trying to ward off in the future not being able to control disease outbreaks should they happen, but by having some of these new technologies. So I think this is a very worthwhile project, and we'll continue to evaluate these technologies.
Okay, again, Phil Goodman, he's Commissioner, District 2 Board Chair, Florida Keys Mosquito Control District, on Good Morning Keys. And there's a lot of talk about the property tax changes that could come about through voter referendum this fall. Phil, it may have impact also on the future funding of mosquito control in the state and the Keys. Now, there was a letter to the editor in the Keys Weekly as of late from a Key Largo resident commenting on the funding. That individual went into significant detail as far as, from his perspective, how things have vastly improved since years ago in the Florida Keys, including the subsequent increase in property values as a result of the curtailment of mosquitoes. He talked in that letter about scraping mosquitoes off your body physically before going inside back in the 50s and 60s. You had talked a lot last year to a number of different groups about the economic impact that mosquito control has in a positive light on our economy, on our property values, et cetera. But the property tax changes could affect that. So maybe give us some clarity and explain that a little further.
Yes, the governor for the last couple of years has been wanting to make changes in the way property taxes, ad valorem property taxes, are collected and on what basis. And the legislature passed and the governor signed this year a bill that will be on the ballot in November, in the general election in November, asking the voters, what they think. Do they want to look at this, which is really more or less giving a additional monies off of your real estate property for people who have homesteaded, and also some breaks for businesses and non-homesteaded properties. And we're all about saving money too. I mean, we love to save money, and I think mosquito control is really a good return on investment, probably one of the best you of anybody in the Keys. But we will be impacted if this passes and doesn't change. It will not impact us this year. Next year it will impact some, and then in subsequent years it'll impact more and more. Our ability to raise funds for mosquito control. And the main reason is because it's not well defined in this legislation whether mosquito control is a critical service or not. And I read the letter that you're referring to, and this gentleman's talking about, he thinks that it should be, and so do I. I mean, I think, and so do a lot of people. A lot of people haven't really thought about it. But what would the Keys be like without mosquito control? And we control about 90% of the mosquitoes. And when you're talking about billions of mosquitoes that are coming, in that are natural here, 90% is a lot. 10% still a lot, though. There's still room for improvement, and we're working on it. There was a lot of restrictions. But if you didn't have that, it would be very difficult to live here, and property values would suffer, and all of these. So we want people to really think about this. Like I said, we're all about saving money as well, and we think we are a good value. Mosquito control is a good value for the residents of this county. But in November, they'll be asked, what do they think? And not only here, but all over the state. So, I'm on the board of the Florida Mosquito Control Association, and all over the state, mosquito controls are concerned about the impact. So we'll look and see what the voters think, and see what the legislature can do in the future to be sure that mosquito control is included as a critical service here to protect our quality of life and the public health primarily.
Okay, very well. Again, it is Phil Goodman with us, Commissioner, District 2 Board Chair, Florida Keys Mosquito Control District, on Good Morning Keys. And thank you for the update on all the happenings there with Mosquito Control District and how some of the potential changes coming down the pike could affect mosquito control in the future. Phil, we've covered a lot of points this morning, but is there anything else that we should cover at this particular time, sir?
Well, I guess right now we're in the height of mosquito season. So if you walk around your property and you dump your water to keep the Aedes aegypti down, call mosquito control or put in a service request through our app or our app on the phone or our website, or you can call us direct at 305-292-7190. And right now the Keys are, every area and every part of the Keys is treated differently for mosquito control because of the vast number of different types of geography and topography that we have here, and where water resides all the time or sometime in the vegetation. So, you may see mosquitoes on your property that we haven't detected yet. So it's very important to call us or give us a heads up. We'll come out and inspect that same day or the next day at the latest to see if we can solve your mosquito problem. So we've been out lately a lot. I've had results where, people have left during the summertime and left their swimming pool or their hot tub unattended, which is causing a lot of breeding in particular neighborhoods. So we're able to find these things and solve these problems. A lot of times it is those type of problems that we're seeing. So please give us a call if we can be of any assistance.
Standing water in spare tires too. That's always an issue. Yes,
spares. We like for people not to have old tires around their property. I know they have different uses, but they are also a great breeding site for particularly the Aedes aegypti mosquito. And, once you get water in a tire, it's very difficult to get it out. No matter how you turn that tire, you can't get the water out. So it's a really perfect natural breeding site for mosquitoes, particularly the Aedes aegypti, because it's dark in there, and they like it. And there are surprisingly a large number of tires all up and down the Keys. It's a constant job for us to see if we can get these removed and have people to remove them. But for some reason, people like to keep old tires. It's a lot more than you would think.
Yeah, and it's amazing how many thousands of mosquito larvae can breed and grow in just a very small space.
Here in the Florida Keys, in our wetlands, mosquitoes breed at a rate of about 45,000 per square foot, if you can imagine that. On average, about 2 billion per acre. And this is not just one time in the season. This is every 7 to 10 days. And with as hot as it is right now, that number of days is a little bit less. It's the hotter the temperature we have, the faster these mosquitoes go from the egg stage through the larvae to the pupal to flying adults, usually in 1 week or less. So it's a lot of mosquitoes, and we know where most of the breeding spots are, and we treat them there are new breeding spots cropping up, and now we're able to find them better than we did last year using some new technology and LiDAR mapping. So, we're continually adding new technologies and growing to keep the community safe and to improve our quality of life. But every day is different, and it's continues to repeat because we are mosquito control, not mosquito extermination. Our job is not to eliminate mosquitoes, and really you never could, and really you never want to, because they do serve a purpose in the ecosystem. And that's what the Everglades Restoration Project right now is, to restore the ecosystem for the Everglades, and part of that ecosystem in the habitat that they're restoring is mosquitoes. So there's a lot of mosquitoes, and I think a lot more will be coming as this restoration project continues over the next several years. There'll be more and more water. Right now, Florida's in pretty much of a drought continuing. It's maybe a little bit better than it was a month ago, but still the water level is low, and same in the Everglades, but still more water is going through there than ever. And it will continue to grow over the next several years as this project comes to fruition.
And once we get that rain, they will come fast and furious as far as mosquitoes go.
Oh yeah, that's one thing you can be sure of. They'll continue to breed in large numbers. One mosquito can, and it's in one season here, can produce billions of offspring. If you can imagine, one mosquito, tens of billions of offsprings. All you have to do is look at they lay about 100 eggs per time, and if you look at 100 to the 6th power, you're already into the billions, and the 6th power is nothing compared to what could happen here. Every time it rains, it's a new generation of mosquitoes breeding. So it's a lot, and but mosquito control, we're here to control that, and we do I think a phenomenal job. But we're working against Mother Nature in a lot of things, and with Mother Nature. So it's every day is something different.
Wow. Challenges ahead, no doubt about it. Well, Phil, thank you so very much for being with us this morning and all that you do as the Commissioner of District 2 and Board Chair of the Florida Keys Mosquito Control District. We certainly appreciate your time this morning, as always, and have a wonderful day, sir.
Michael, thank you very much. A good day to you and your listeners.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Take care. It is Phil Goodman, Commissioner, District 2, Board Chair, Florida Keys Mosquito Control District. By the way, you can find out more and find a number of different resources available to you at keysmosquito.org online, including the latest news from Florida Keys Mosquito Control District. You can also request a treatment and service there on the website, and find out where they are treating as well. So that's all again at keysmosquito.org. Keys Talk 96.9, 1025, the talk of the Keys. We will continue with more Good Morning Keys in a moment.
Are you frustrated by weight gain even though you constantly diet? Do you have low energy or always feel tired? It could be hormonal imbalance. Hormonal imbalances, especially as we age, can be the cause of depression, weight gain, mood swings, decreased libido, and many other chronic conditions. At Keys Med Spa, we have helped thousands of women and men regain their hormonal balance with BioT, bioidentical hormone optimization therapy, and the results are life-changing. Keys Med Spa BioT hormone therapy is safe, effective, painless, and affordable. And the big difference at Keys Med Spa, this is all overseen by renowned Dr. Peterson, who has had a medical practice in the Keys for over 27 years. Cool sculpting, Botox, skin treatments, BioT hormone therapy, and more. Dr. Peterson and his team are here to help you maintain your youthful glow and vitality. To see if BioT hormone therapy is right for you, call Keys Med Spa today at 305-587-9183.
The Greenhouse. Have you been there yet? We even spell it with 3 E's to help you smile when you say it. That's our goal. We carry the largest selection of hemp-derived THC and CBD products in Monroe County. If you've been taking medication for anxiety, depression, inflammation, lack of sleep, or muscle and joint pain, and it's just not working, or you don't like the side effects, we can help. If you're looking to chill, relax, escape, focus, or even break out into euphoric fits of laughter, we can help there too. No medical card is needed. You just have to be 21 or over. Our 3 locations are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. In Key West, we're at 431 Front Street, just in front of Mallory Square. In Marathon, you can find us at mile marker 52 at 10875 Overseas Highway. In Key Largo, we're at 99304 Overseas Highway in the middle of the road. Swing on by, share your goals with us, and we'll recommend a product to help you reach them. And we back our recommendations with a 100% money-back guarantee. The Greenhouse. Stop on by and find out what the buzz is all about today.
Visit one of the 12 locations of the Greenhouse, including 9 in the Keys and featuring their newest store at 3128 North Roosevelt, Key West.
Hey, Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Maura and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar, listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Maura says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town, Key West, or twofriends.com.
If it's happening in the Keys, you will hear about it here. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And Good Morning Keys, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys, a little busy on the roadways there. Thanks to the newsroom for that update on the traffic. It's going to be warm as well. And actually, from what we understand, there has been a bleach warning for coral in our area. So those hot temperatures are going to be taking their toll on our coral reef and on our ecosystem. And we will want to be aware of that. We'll continue to follow that developing story. Well, Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium certainly is very active in taking care of our ecosystem, but also in educating our residents and our youth as far as the ecosystem and the reef and health of the oceans, etc. For that, we turn to Jade Bosco. She's Lower Keys Education Manager for Mote Marine Laboratory. Good morning to you, Jade.
Good morning.
Hi there. So thanks for being here. So let's talk a little bit. We've talked in the past about Mote Marine and its importance in educating and advancing marine science worldwide. Marine science is the mission of Mote Marine, an independent nonprofit institution, 38 programs and centers in the global research enterprise. Mote champions conservation and the sustainable use of the oceans that sustain us all. But we have specific programs here in the Florida Keys that benefit all of our students. So let's talk about that, starting with homeschool programs. People might not be available or, aware rather of the resources available to homeschoolers. So let's talk about that relative to Mote Marine Laboratory.
Yeah, so starting in August, we have our fall homeschool semester ramping up. So every spring and every fall, we have a full semester of programming where twice a month we run classes at our Summerland Key facility. Homeschool families can come and join us for experiential learning in the lab, STEM-based projects, problem solving, and lots of really fun hands-on activities, all related to coral reef biology and ecology.
Yeah, so those take place right at Summerland Key at the Mote Marine Laboratory, and you have different behind the science tours as well as programs right there, right?
Yeah, that's right. So students get to play games with us in the classroom, but also they actually go into our working laboratories. They get to work alongside our lead scientists and actually learn firsthand what it takes to look after our corals, look after our animals, and also take part in little research projects as well. So starting that learning really early, hands-on, getting to practice science experiments, teamwork, all of that good stuff too.
Yeah, and there's activities and educational programs for all ages. I see the Shark Pups and Grown-Ups Early Childhood STEM program. That's for ages 2 through 5, so you can get your child started early in appreciation of our ecosystem and a better understanding of Mote Marine as well. And then a number of other programs continue. As you said, homeschooling is one opportunity. There's, as mentioned, behind the science tours, even educational programs through kayak tours as well.
Yeah, so students visit us also from all over the country, so not just in the Keys, not just Florida. but local students as well as our homeschoolers actually join us on kayaking tours. We go out around the mangrove ecosystems. We learn about all of the different juvenile animals that might be using those mangrove ecosystems. So it's not only coral reefs we're focusing on, but everything in the marine environment is connected, and we really just want to reinforce that connection with the local community and their environment.
Okay, very well. It's Jade Bosco. She's Lower Keys Education Manager for Mote Marine Laboratories on Good Morning Keys. And the day camps, too. Those are also an available resource.
Yes, those are primarily up in Sarasota at
Okay.
the moment.
Okay.
So down here in the Florida Keys, we're focusing on our homeschooling programs, field trips. We also take students out on snorkeling experiences. Right now as well, really important, we're teaching students how to collect data on the bleaching of our corals. So we're integrating our Bleach Watch program with our education program. So, kids around here are always out swimming, they're on the boats, they're out with families. So we're teaching them how to look for those early warning signs and help us report that as well.
Very well. So also classroom outreach programs where you actually go into the classroom as well.
Yeah, so we do have a few community partners set up already all throughout the Keys, from Key Largo all the way to Key West. We visit your school. If you have a particular topic that you're teaching at that moment, we can make sure that our classes align with those topics to make sure, we're hitting those science standards, those teaching standards for Florida education. And like I said, we have a few partners already, but if there's anyone listening who teaches science in a school, anything from kindergarten to 12th grade, and you want us to come and visit you, that's a possibility as well.
Okay. And how about touring the facility? Is that something that a teacher can set up, and how do they go about doing so?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have public tours available to the community for free every Tuesday at 10 a.m. in Summerland Key. But if you do have a private group or a class and you want to get more behind the scenes, you can just reach out at keyseducation@mote.org. And that's where you can book that. And you can also visit our website, which is mote.org/education. And all of that information is on there as well.
Okay, and there's a lot of different educational opportunities. That's what we're speaking about with Jade Bosco, Lower Keys Education Manager for Mote Marine Laboratories. Slice of Paradise. You can get an up close look at the coral microfragmentation, which is one of the technologies that Mote Marine Laboratory is world renowned for.
Yeah, so microfragmentation, like you said, we discovered this here at Mote, where we very carefully slice corals into smaller pieces to accelerate their growth. Really important for making sure we're producing all the coral we need to rebuild our reefs. And anyone, as long as they're age 12 and up, can come and learn how we fragment corals and do it for themselves and really create those fragments that we will nurture to the appropriate size, and then one day they'll be planted out on the reef, so they can create their own kind of piece that we will plant and will turn into a larger coral and will become part of the ecosystem.
Okay, very good. There's so many educational outreach opportunities, and they can all be found out about at Mote Marine Laboratory. Find out more at mote.org/education/programs. Again, speaking with Jade Bosco with Mote Marine Laboratory on Good Morning Keys. And so again, we have homeschool programs coming up very soon. Can people reach out to you directly to find out more, Jade?
Yes, so all of that information is available on our website, and you can book through our website. We're going to be opening registration a week from now, actually, on the 15th. Or they can reach out to me directly at keyseducation@mote.org.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone aged 8 through 15 can sign up for those, and there's a couple of dates per month. So we make sure that the younger students and the older students are in their own classes to make sure that everything is, appropriately challenging for each age group. And we have basically a different theme each month. So anything from nautical nurseries to exploring those mangroves, like I said before. We're also planning a field trip to Bahia Honda State Park to explore our seagrasses environments, and also investigate fish biology and do some lionfish dissections as well. So lots of really fun stuff planned.
Wow. And we had mentioned earlier about the opportunities available for all age groups. There's even the internship programs where a fantastic opportunity exists for undergraduate and graduate students as well. And those exist, whether it be year-round college internships or undergraduate research experiences. Another opportunity to experience Mote Marine and all it does for our community and possibly consider a career in marine sciences.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the best way to get into quite a competitive field, really. Getting hands-on, getting that real world experience. All of our internships are paid as well. So, we are really proud of that. And a lot of our interns do end up staying on and becoming part of the team. So it's a really, really great opportunity. If someone wants to, just in their local community, donate some of their time as well. We do have long-term volunteering opportunities where we train you how to look after our corals. We also have diving volunteering opportunities. So any local divers want to get involved in that, we can always use more help as well.
Okay, Jade Bosco with us from Mote Marine Laboratories. And I'm going to make a big assumption here that you didn't necessarily grow up in the Keys, but you came here as a result of Mote Marine Laboratories. But something tells me maybe you're not native to this area.
No, I'm from the UK originally. So yeah, a little bit different. We don't have coral reefs there, but I have worked all over the world. I was actually working in Thailand for the last 4 years before I came here with my own coral nursery. So coral reefs are really, really close to my heart. There I got to work a lot with the local community and education, which is something I'm really passionate about. So yeah, that's what really drew me to Florida. Having, come from abroad and also worked all over, it really is quite inspiring how much Florida communities are connected to their environment and they feel that kind of stewardship for the coral reefs. It's pretty awesome here.
Well, it's amazing. And it's another illustration of how Mote Marine Laboratory draws talent from around the world to continue their mission here throughout Florida and the Florida Keys. One does not think of the UK necessarily as being associated with coral. So it is very interesting that you found your passion there and found your way to the Florida Keys, but we're very glad that you were here.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I didn't even really study that much about corals, like you said, because why would we in the UK? But I did, studied a lot about marine biology and ecology and ecological concepts they translate to basically any habitat around the world. Yeah. And, English people, we do like to seek the sunshine. We don't get so much of it at home. So I've kind of gravitated towards working in nice tropical environments.
Very good. Well, we certainly appreciate all that you do here to help educate those about our environment, our ecosystem, and our reefs, and to help continue to promote the health of all of the above. Again, Jade Bosco, she is with us from Mote Marine Laboratories on Good Morning Keys. And I've got a cat sitting on my notes, but I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover at this point. Is there anything else you'd like to mention at this time, Jade?
Mainly local educators, local teachers. Please do reach out to us if you would like us to come into your schools, if you'd like to come to us. Basically anything that you will need to suit your curriculum, we can make that happen. So we really want to strengthen our partnerships in the community. I also want to mention that soon we're going to be having more open days at our Summerland Key facility as well. So keep an eye out for that on our website, on our social media, at Protect Our Reefs. We'll be announcing all of those fun events where educators, families can come and see our facility as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Jade, for being here this morning. Thanks for all that you do in your capacity at Mote Marine as the Lower Keys Education Manager. You have a terrific day, and I hope to talk to you again.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye now. Jade Bosco with us. Take care. And she's with Mote Marine Laboratories, the Lower Keys Education Manager on Good Morning Keys. Again, mentioned earlier, but goes without saying, another hot day underway. We're in the 80s already, and we are going to be, we're at 88 now on our way to 92, 20% chance of rain. We'll continue with more of Good Morning Keys in just a moment.
Let's talk trash. I'm Taylor Conrath, and my family's been taking care of your family's trash for years. In fact, we've operated Marathon Garbage Service and kept the Middle Keys clean since my great-grandpa, John Conrath, founded the company in 1950. That's a lot of years talking trash and hauling trash. And these days, we take care of your family's recyclables in addition to commercial and residential waste removal. The Conrath family and our entire team of great employees takes pride in keeping our community clean, from the north end of the 7 Mile Bridge to Craig Key. Now it's my generation of Conraths working together with my grandfather and my dad to continue the tradition and commitment started in 1950 at Marathon Garbage Service. The Conrath family is always there for your family. If you need to talk trash, just call us at 305-743-5165. That's 305-743-5165. Or visit us at 4290 Overseas Highway in Marathon and online at marathongarbageservice.com.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold delicious ground coffee always brewing and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in-store with 24 hours advance notice. And enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in-store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. OldTownBakeryKeyWest.com.
Your home is your castle, your sanctuary. Rack Advanced Control brings together the electrical and smart technology that make your home comfortable, secure, and effortless to live in. Imagine music flowing seamlessly through every room, beautiful lighting that adjusts to your lifestyle, motorized shades, climate control, and energy management all working together automatically. From integrated audio and video systems to discrete security cameras and professional electrical services, Rack Advanced Control designs and installs technology that works in perfect harmony. Originally founded in California, Rack Advanced Control has over 20 years of experience serving the luxury residential market and was honored as a 2024 Lutron Excellence Award Integrator. Now with an office in Key West, Florida, Rack brings world-class smart home design and electrical expertise to the Florida Keys. Make your home smarter, safer, and more enjoyable to live in. Call 786-647-9647 or visit rackav.com. Rack Advanced Control. Intelligent luxury, expertly installed.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready.
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway, Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
This is Ollie North for 4-Star Rentals. 4-Star Rentals is the most complete rental store in the Keys. They can provide rental equipment for every do-it-yourself project from your house to your yard. Bobcats, chippers, chainsaws, and tile saws, you name it, they have it. They also deliver throughout the Keys. That's 4-Star Rentals. Model marker 4.5 on Stock Island. These guys are really good. That's 4-Star Rentals. Go see them soon.
Check us out. What Colonel Ollie North says is absolutely true. We're locally owned and operated. We offer a fleet of delivery trucks for fast all-in-one delivery. 4-Star Rentals is the oldest tool rental and party store in the Florida Keys. We make it easy to get that job done for that party or very special event. We're located at mile marker 4.5 in Key West, or just call us and we'll come to you. 4-Star Rentals, 294-7171. That's 294-7171. Remember, Colonel Ollie North never lies.
Historic Pepe's Cafe in Key West, founded in 1909, still does things the old way. Diachronic, if you will. How about fresh squeezed juices? Think how good that margarita or Greyhound will taste. Blue Point oysters shucked to order because oysters work better that way. Fresh breads and outstanding specials in an eatery that opened the same year Ole Evinrude invented the first outboard motor. And get a jump on someone's birthday and check out our retail offerings for some great gift ideas. Pepe's Cafe, Old Town Key West, of course.
The voice of Monroe County, yours. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And welcome to your Wednesday morning, the 8th of July already. And we're going to say good morning to John Bartus. He's the city administrator for the city of Key Colony Beach. Good morning to you, John.
Hey, good morning, Michael. How are you today?
I am doing well. How about that? It's already halfway through the year, halfway to Christmas and presents in paradise, and
I know
that is amazing. Christmas in July, we ought to do something for that.
I know we did have for presents in paradise. We went out and helped Rotary Club with of course everything over July 4th over Sombrero Beach. We did have some special tank tops made up for the event, like a Christmas in July, a snowman on the beach, that kind of stuff.
Excellent.
So that was good. Yeah, and in terms of presents in paradise, there's also some big news coming up. We are going to be working with Stan Haynes over at the Florida Keys Country Club, and it looks like we're going to be doing our first ever benefit golf tournament coming up, and that looks like it's going to be November 14th. There'll be a lot more details to come out of that.
Okay.
But, yeah, we're looking forward to that one. It's going to be a fun event, and if you've not played one of those tournaments over there, it's a good time. People have a great time with those tournaments, and we have a lot of regular golfers come out. I'm one of them that usually plays in the tournaments, and they're fun, big time.
Absolutely. Well, we will look forward to that and hear more about it and tell more about it as that develops.
Yes.
But Presents in Paradise, a terrific, wonderful event, and Christmas in July brings that back to mind. It'll be here, and time to help Presents in Paradise and the kids and spreading cheer before we know it. But also there's some cheer, if I can use the transition, in the city of Key Colony Beach as we continue to see the City Hall starting to take shape.
Big progress being made on City Hall right now. A lot of the concrete blocks have gone up. You can see the general shape. Floors have been poured. So this is huge accomplishments. We're making great progress over there, and looking forward to a date not too many months in the future when we will abandon our trailer offices and have wonderful offices in a brand new building.
Are we going to have a trailer demolition party or something?
We don't own them. We're probably going to just tell the company to come pick them up.
Yes, please tow them away. Well, anyway, that'll be an exciting day yet to come. John Bartus, he's city administrator, city of Key Colony Beach. And we just had July 4th. Of course, I know that you are very involved in July 4th activities in conjunction with and in the city of Marathon with the Rotary Club and the like. Another very successful and big celebration for the 250th anniversary of our country there in Marathon.
It is, and I've got to just say a few words of thanks to some people that really make that a big deal. The City of Marathon, of course, providing the venue, and the ones that help basically make sure that the fireworks come off the way they do. Randy Mearns, he was on that original city council with me way back when in the old days. He's a former fire chief, but he's the chief pyrotechnician. And he's the one that makes sure that we have we have the best small town fireworks in America in Marathon. And he's the reason for that. And he has a band of pyros. They come out every year, and they overachieve every year.
Well, and I hope we have some pyros in training too to continue that legacy well into the future. But
we're talking about that. We really are.
Not that anybody's getting older, but
I know.
Yeah. Well, spread the knowledge as well. So John, as far as the city of Key Colony Beach goes, it looks like we have a beautification committee meeting coming up on the 14th as well.
Yeah, we have a recreation committee meeting coming up tomorrow, I believe, and the beautification committee meets, and then we have a full-blown city commission meeting on the 16th. So we got some stuff going on. It's summertime. It's sort of quiet time in Key Colony Beach, but we still have things going on. And I want basically by the time the snowbirds come back and our winter residents come back, they'll have a brand new city hall. One history-making thing just sort of happened in Key Colony, and that is the first female law enforcement officer to lead an agency in Florida Keys history. When after our chief Chris DiGiovanni retired, we promoted Sergeant Jamie Buxton to the chief position. She's the first female police chief in all of Monroe County history, I believe.
Oh, congratulations to her, and thanks for her service. That's very cool.
It's very cool. She came up with the sheriff's office. She moved to Key Colony Beach and became an officer there. She moved up to sergeant. She got that rank, and when Chris retired, it was no brainer to move her. It's nothing to do with the fact that she was a woman. She deserves the position. She earned it by merit, and she is an absolutely wonderful officer and police chief, and we're very proud of her, for her achievement there, and also being able to have Key Colony Beach be the first law enforcement agency to be led by a female.
Excellent. Well, that's great news as well, and congratulations to the chief. We are speaking with John Bartus, City Administrator for the City of Key Colony Beach. And I assume we're still watching the property tax referendum. We talk about the end of the year coming, and that vote will be coming in November as well.
It will. Florida statute forbids, cities and counties from, spending money to, either support or oppose a referendum like that. I do have my own personal feelings about that. And even worse than the property tax part of it is the restrictions on what you can spend money on. And I think it's, counties and cities won't be able to spend money on things like libraries or parks and recreation out of your ad valorem taxes anymore. And that's something that I believe will have detrimental impact on day-to-day life for people in Florida. And the same thing is the homestead exemption is great, but what about people who rent their properties to, affordable workforce housing? They're not getting any break, and in fact, their taxes are going to go up as a result of losing property taxes.
Well, and the percentage of homesteaded properties is actually relatively small throughout the Keys. I assume that's also the case in Key Colony Beach.
That's very true. I mean, we don't have, it's a minority of houses that are homesteaded in Key Colony Beach. So as far as, the Keys go, that's the actual homestead exemption property tax reduction is not going to be that big a deal. But in other parts of the state, there are counties if you have 60, 70, 80% or more of your homes homesteaded, that's going to be a very significant hit if this goes through.
Yeah. So either way, it could have an impact on municipal funding, et cetera, and restrictions put upon the funding that still exists. But it also could benefit some people, maybe a relatively small number and percentage of people here in the Keys. Yeah. But again, we need to continue to provide some clarity, transparency, and education on this topic as much as possible from a number of different perspectives before the voters go to the polls this fall.
I agree, and I think people should look at it and make the decision that's best for them.
Well, you've been involved as a leader in government here in the Keys for many years. We appreciate your perspective and understanding. I know it is something that you have a watchful eye on as well. So we appreciate your input and commentary without actually advocating for anything either way. At least helping educate us is very helpful.
Absolutely. And the thing is, the good thing about my position there is, I really don't have an opinion. I'm there to execute the policy made by my city commission. So that's That's my job.
It's kind of like being married, at least in my case. I don't have an opinion unless I want to get in trouble.
Yes, that's a good way to look at it. Yep.
So maybe I'd be a good administrator because I by nature don't have an opinion. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, sir, I
that's
think
good.
that I'm sorry, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was also going to say it looks like we're going to be part of the election night coverage. A great team that that's being put together.
Yes.
That we're going to be after the primary election and the general election, and I'm really looking forward to working with you on that.
Likewise, absolutely. Yeah, it's my understanding. Joe Moore, you, myself,
And Todd Sherman, I believe.
Todd Sherman. Yeah, exactly. So we have a number of different informed perspectives there coming together to provide information directly as a result of the elections that night. So yes, looking forward to having you there and benefiting from your expertise as well, sir.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Anything else we should cover, sir?
I think that's probably a good place to leave it off at this point.
Okay.
Just make sure everybody stays safe out there, and we are in. I hate to use the H word, but we are in tropical event season. It is the Atlantic hurricane season. Everybody make sure to keep a watch on things. I know they say it's a super El Nino year, and that could have an effect on the number of storms that we would see in the Atlantic basin. But it only takes one. So keep vigilant, keep an eye on the tropics, and be prepared to execute your hurricane plan.
Yes, thank you for that reminder. People can tend to get complacent when it's been relatively quiet. The ill effect of the warm waters, though, is we were talking about coral bleaching earlier and things like that.
I know.
That is, there's always a positive and a negative. But again, hurricanes could happen at any particular time. So remain alert and vigilant. Thank you for that reminder. So, John, have a wonderful, yes, sir, have a wonderful day. We'll continue to look forward to seeing the progress of City Hall coming to fruition. And we'll continue to stay in touch. We'll look forward to talking to you again soon, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. And
Yes, sir.
we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. John Bartus with us, City Administrator, City of Key Colony Beach on Good Morning Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Getting set for Glenn Beck, and it is not a time to be complacent, whether it is following hurricanes, which luckily there's none to follow right now, or following developments worldwide that could affect us all. And it looks like we are back in a confrontation with Iran, trading jabs here as of late. And that situation will continue to evolve as President Trump is in Turkey with NATO. And basically his latest statement has said that he considers the ceasefire to be useless. So conditions can change at any particular time. That's why it's important to remain engaged and informed with Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys, because we always have breaking news as soon as it happens, local, state, national news, at least every half hour, weather around the clock as well. Also keeping us informed are the heavy hitters of talk radio. It is Glenn Beck coming up in just a few moments, followed by Clay and Buck at noon, Sean Hannity at 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, everything Florida with Florida's Voice exclusively here on Keys Talk, and it's Drew Steele hosting that. 6 o'clock, the great one is Mark Levin. 9 o'clock, Jesse Kelly, Coast to Coast AM overnight, as well as AUC with Dr. B coming your way live 9 a.m. on Saturday. It is all here, and it's more important than ever to remain engaged and informed. We'll help you do that. It's Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great day.